Morning, everyone. I'm on here today, continuing my journey on my path. So I had started and I have posted like 3 videos. I had to make them into 4 because one of the videos got chopped up. But my last video, I was just explaining to people, how I do my cleanses with my crystals and my moon phase cleansings that I do during the time that the moon phases change. Well, people who are uneducated and they only go by the religion that they was taught, and they don't read, about other religions on how they communicate with the Most High. With that being said, it's funny how the first person that come on there and comment said I do witchcraft. I mean, whatever y'all want to call it. If you want to call it witchcraft, so be it, But that's not what I call it. If you want to call me a witch, you can call me a witch too. But that's not what I call me. I call me a child of God who's just trying to stay on the better side of life, to follow through life without being in the dark. So people who get on here and judge me and call me a witch, they the witches. But because for you to call me that and you ain't educated yourself on nothing but one religion, and you really ain't educated on that, because you still on here judging people like you are God and you're not God, for one. And it's mighty funny how the people who always comment, they never have a photo of their self or nothing. So if you so mighty into God, why you hiding? Why you hiding? Why I can't even see a photo of you and see who you are, since you so openly to God and telling me that I'm studying witchcraft and I'm practicing something that I'm seeing that somebody else doing, like I'm copying. I ain't never been a copycat. Everything that I do, it was just led to me through God, through my own intuition that God gifted me with. So anything that's gonna get people closer to God, it shouldn't even matter if I'm not doing nothing bad. So people need to put more emphasis and more educate themselves more before they jump on somebody's wild and comment about something that it's just their opinion. So let me go back and say, if I am a witch, I'm a witch of God. So if you feel like that, everybody is entitled to opinion. And I said opinions and comments are welcome to my page. But don't hide behind your page and come at me, because you afraid what? God gonna judge you for getting on here calling me a witch and judging me on just what you was taught to judge me on. Not just knowingly listening. Like I said, like I posted yesterday, I meant that. People be quick to listen just to have a response instead of just listening to the message. And I don't give off bad messages. So if that's coming from the devil, then I don't know who your God is. But we sure don't believe in the same God. But people are taught Christianity people are taught to believe a certain way and judge people. So that's why I don't do Christianity. I came from a religious family of Christianity, but as I became an adult, it kept me stuck in a frame of mind that it wasn't helping me get closer to God. I was doing worse things when I thought, you know, I was supposed to be a Christianity religion. It was harder for me to get closer to God because they had so many scary stipulations, like you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, that slavery mindset that the white people that slaved us, black people, to feel like God judged us different from them. Because like I said, when our ancestors were slaves, they gave us the Bible to make us believe that we had to obey. Our ancestors had to obey the white people in order to be closer to God. The Bible wasn't for us in their opinion. It was for us to obey them, as they wanted us to believe that God was going to punish us if we didn't obey them, not God. So I'm very well educated on my spirituality. I ain't just jump into this. I've been on my path of knowing and educating myself for 6 years. So that's exactly why I didn't start my page until I got all the education that I needed to get on here and speak on my spirituality. And I was already told that people was going to judge me that way. People was going to call me a witch. People was going to say that what I do is not godly. I already got that from my family members when I told them that. But do you think I care about people's opinion? I am guided through angels and God through life. I don't let people guide me. I don't let people hold anything on over me to where I need to feel validated by people for what I do of my path. So I really don't. You're entitled to your opinion, but I'm gonna come and respond back, because a lot of people, that get on here and say stuff, they act like they so religious, but they'll turn around and pray something bad on somebody, but then they act like they're a child of God or they're a Christian, and that ain't Christian like. Even if somebody do something bad, God gonna handle their karma. But for you to put a prayer out for somebody, that ain't your job. That's not your job to do that. And it's a lot of bad people in this world for people to come on here and come and judge me like I'm doing something wrong, but I'm bringing people closer to God just in my way, not in the Christianity way, in the way that God wants us to come as we are. So, anybody who have their opinion about me, I really don't care, because my path that I'm on, it has taught me how to become a better person for me and for my well-being. So it's mighty funny though, I don't judge Christians, because we all speak like the same language. We all just trying to get to the light. For those who are trying to get to the light, because you have people in Christianity, they use it in the wrong way, and they are of the dark. They're warlocks and witches, if that's what you want to call it, So it's a good and bad in everything. So if you want to put me on the bad side, you came to the wrong page to think that I'm not gonna have nothing to say, or just gonna let you bash me on an opinion that's just your opinion. And I'm pretty sure it's probably other people that will agree with you, but it's a lot of people that will agree with me too. So that's why it's so much spiritual warfare, because a lot of people don't even understand